Content warning. This video contains graphic discussions of violent crimes, which can include murder, missing persons cases, and child abuse. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Hello and welcome back to True Crime Chronicles. For those of you who are new here, welcome. This is a space where we seek to give a voice to the victims and examine the intricate and often devastating details of real-life true crime cases. In the quiet suburban community of Taylorsville, Utah, a friendship forged in childhood ended in an act of unspeakable violence that would shock a community and devastate a family already acquainted with profound loss. This is the story of Nickolas Vetecnik, a boy known as a gentle giant, and the horrifying final hours of his life at the hands of someone he called a friend. On May 26, 2021, a father's search for his son led to a gruesome discovery. Inside a cargo trailer near 1600 West and 60th South, he found a scene of horror. The body of 15-year-old Nick Vetecnik, partially dismembered and placed inside garbage bags. Police arriving on the scene noted the trailer smelled overwhelmingly of cleaning agents in a desperate attempt to scrub away evidence. But this was more than a random act. As Unified Police detectives began their investigation, a chilling narrative emerged from security footage and forensic evidence. It pointed directly to a teenager who grew up alongside the victims, 17-year-old Rowdy Lee Aguilar. Carrie Ingham, Nick's aunt and legal guardian, was left reeling. Nick had come to live with her after enduring unimaginable personal tragedies. His mother lost a battle with colon cancer in 2019, and his father died from a heart attack just months before his own death. He was a gentle giant. He'd still try to reach out and help people before he helped himself. Ingham described the bond between her nephew and the suspect as close. They laughed together, hung out, and would bump knuckles when they parted. Anytime they were together, they were laughing, they were having fun. So the fact this has happened just leaves us with a huge question of why. That why remains a haunting mystery. What we know of the how is pieced together from court documents and police evidence. Surveillance footage from the morning of May 26th shows Nick and Rowdy entering Aguilar's home together. Just after 10 a.m. For several hours, the footage shows nothing amiss. But the story shifts dramatically in the afternoon. At approximately 1:20 p.m., cameras capture Rowdy Aguilar re-entering his home alone. His t-shirt is now heavily stained with what appears to be blood. About 20 minutes later, security footage from a nearby business shows Aguilar carrying items to a field behind the house. First, a black garbage bag, then a white one. These bags, police would later confirm, contain the dismembered remains of Nick Vetecnik. The primary crime scene, however, was believed to be inside the Aguilar home or the trailer. When police searched Rowdy's bedroom, they found a bloody t-shirt. In the trailer, amidst the overpowering smell of chemicals, they discovered a knife consistent with the victim's wounds. The autopsy report by the Utah medical examiner detailed a savagely violent death. Nick Vetecnik suffered 26 stab wounds to his head and neck. One stab penetrated his skull. The fatal injury was a deep wound to his neck. The official manner of death, homicide. When detectives took Rowdy Aguilar in for questioning, his story unraveled quickly. He initially claimed he didn't know Nick Vetecnik and had spent the day at his girlfriend's house. He explained fresh wounds on his hands as injuries from cutting ribs for a barbecue. But the evidence was overwhelming. Police noted visible blood on his pants, socks, and shoes. Confronted with the security footage and forensic links, Aguilar eventually broke. He admitted to being in the trailer with Nick and uttered 3 devastating words: "I did it." He offered no motive. In June 2021, Aguilar was charged as an adult with aggravated murder. obstruction of justice, abuse, or desecration of a human body, and escaped, the latter charge stemming from an incident in the police interview room where he ripped his handcuffs from a wall in an attempt to leave. For over 4 years, the case moved through the justice system. Then, in a surprise development, Rowdy Lee Aguilar entered a plea of guilty with a mental condition to 1 count of aggravated murder. Because he was 17 at the time of the crime, his sentence carries a unique structure. He faces a mandatory minimum of 25 years to life in prison. He will first be held in a youth secure care facility until he turns 25, after which he will be transferred to the Utah State Prison to serve the remainder of his sentence. A special sentencing hearing is set for December 5, 2025. Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill stated the conviction was sought to provide a measure of justice and accountability. For Nick's family, the legal resolution cannot fill the void left by a teenager described as loving, kind-hearted, and protective. A boy who once caught his grandfather from falling and whispered, "I promise I won't let you fall." He was a boy who loved fishing, talked of trying out for football, and had just wanted to get a summer job before starting high school. His life, already marked by the loss of both parents, was cut short in an act of brutal betrayal by a childhood friend, a crime so heinous it defies comprehension and leaves behind only shattered lives and unanswered questions. Nick Vetecnik is remembered not for the horror of his death, but as the loving, protective, gentle giant his family knew. Nickolas Nick Vetecnik's story is a tragic reminder of the hidden fractures behind closed doors and the enduring impact of violence on the families left to pick up the pieces. He's remembered not for how he died, but for the gentle, loving spirit he was. That concludes this chapter of the True Crime Chronicles. The stories we share here are more than just mysteries. They're real-life events that remind us of the importance of awareness and empathy. If this case resonated with you, please help us grow our community of truth seekers by liking this video, sharing it with someone, and subscribing to the channel for more deep dives. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay compassionate, and keep seeking truth.